My straight BFS is fooling around with my gay cousin. Venting here is how the story goes. So the title basically give away what this whole post is gonna be about. My 18F BFS 17F has been intimate with my cousin 18F. I've known my BFS for like 10 years now and we've survived many friend groups, we've been through thick and thin together and she honestly feels like a sister to me. My cousin, who came out like 6 years ago, and I used to be really close but we had a disagreement and we've been distant ever since. It was a family-related issue I don't want to get into, not related to her coming out as lesbian since we fell out like 3 years after that, just thought I would disclaim. My cousin and BFS have been friends since I introduced them around 7 years ago and they have never been really close until now. I don't want anyone to make it out like I don't want my BFS to have friends beside me because I'm fine with that and she can have as many friends as will make her happy since I also have other friends as well. Though she doesn't like if I ever talk about those friends or make plans with them even if she doesn't make any effort to make plans with me which she doesn't really. I guess it's kind of driving me crazy that she can rant at me for hanging out with others but then feels like there is no problem when she hangs around with others. On days I attempted to make plans with her, and proceeds to send me pics of them all together or will post them on her SC story but will leave me on open/read/delivered all day. And again I have no problem with her having fun or other friends but she makes me feel like I'm in the ring when I choose to go to pre-made plans instead of asking her if she wants to hang out. My cousin and my BFS have been getting really close and it didn't bother me that they were hanging out with each other every day. Even when all my family members were asking me about it etc. However, my BFS told me when we went shopping together 2 weeks ago that she had been fooling around with my cousin but that she wasn't into girls at all. I was really confused and I told her that she was probably bi or something since sexuality is a spectrum but she told me that she hated doing stuff with my cousin and feels sick the whole time and isn't into her at all. I of course asked her if the stuff they had been doing was consensual and my BFS said that it was and that she initiated it by kissing etc. but wasn't attracted to my cousin sexual or romantically and that she was doing it for the attention she gains from my cousin. I kept quiet after she told me this and she went and picked up my cousin and some of their friends to handle out at this restaurant place, where she proceeded to flirt with my cousin and they behaved like a couple in front of me. Kissed/held hands/held each other. And whilst I didn't really care about their outward display of PDA, their other friends told them to stop and that it was making them uncomfortable but they carried on anyway. When we were about to leave we had to wait 40 minutes whilst they got intimate in the public restroom. The others were uncomfortable waiting so left after 20 minutes so after waiting another 20 I couldn't take it anymore. I barged into the bathroom and told them that I would walk home and that the others left. They walked out after giggling and whispering for 5 minutes looking all disheveled. I haven't really spoken to either of them since this incident and I feel weird about the whole thing not only because I'm already quite a socially awkward person but to have to stand and wait for 20 minutes on my own at the table whilst the servers asked if I was okay was mortifying and neither of them apologized for leaving me to mess around. My BFS also wanted to watch a film alone with my cousin that night but told me she felt awkward taking me home. I told her that I don't mind and would be okay with going home but she told me to stay and watch a film with them. They touched each other during the beginning of the film even though I was between them. I got up and told them I needed the toilet and when I got back they were kissing and touching each other and had a blanket over them. I asked them if they wanted me to ring my mom and get her to pick me up but they said no and that they wanted me to stay and that they would stop. I sat back down and they both asked me why I don't want to sit in my spot between them. I told them I wanted to sit away from the blankets they had cause I was too warm so they left me alone. Them promising not to touch each other lasted 2 minutes and they sat there snogging for most of the movie. When the last 30 minutes of the film was playing I was relieved to know that I could finally go home until I heard them both giggling. I turned to look at them and could see that my cousin was on top of my BFS and they were getting intimate with each other again. I got up when my BFS started making noises and walked out of the room and went and got my shoes on. As I was getting my jacket on my friend told me she would take me home and to wait while she got her phone. She ran back to get her phone but when she didn't return after a minute I walked by the room she was in only to hear them both making intimate noises again. I texted my mom asking her to pick me up and whilst I was waiting for her response I heard my BFS tell my cousin that she needed to drop me off and my cousin laughed incredibly asking why I was still here in the first place. My friend shrugged as she walked out the room and into me. I walked straight past her and got into the car and she followed. She made a couple jokes about how weird and uncomfortable I made them both by staying and how she couldn't finish knowing I was listening. I asked her to be quiet and she told me I was selfish for making her leave my cousin whilst they were in the middle of getting hot and heavy. When we got to my house she grabbed my hand and told me that she was glad that I had been the reason they had stopped because she didn't enjoy what my cousin was doing and had to fake her pleasure every time. She also proceeded to tell me that she just moisturises her in her intimate areas so that my cousin doesn't know that she doesn't make her wet. I told my friend that didn't want to or need to know about her sex life and slammed her car door. She hasn't spoken to me since and is acting like I'm in the wrong for getting in way of her having a happy relationship with my cousin. I didn't think I was, but am I? I decided after that day that I would leave them to it to decide what they were doing. I just wanted a place to vent/rant about the whole predicament because I don't know what to do or say. Any advice would be much appreciated. Also sorry that it's kinda long and if there is any spelling errors I'm also really sorry. My BF shit all over my house as a prank. I, 23F, have a BF, 23M, he is nothing but childish and stupid. I cannot stand his bullshit. He's been doing horrible things to me as pranks. I used to work from home for the government, which I had a hole set up in a room in my house. One day I went to my bedroom to lay down for my break. As I went back to my room for work, I saw shit at the top of my stairs and all through the hallway. I thought it was the dog, so I asked my BF to clean up his dog's shit. When I got to my desk I smelled shit but couldn't find it. I opened my laptop and there was shit on my laptop and even more all over my desk. It was awful. I opened my desk drawer and there was shit all inside too, even on my pens. It was like hidden everywhere. My BF laughed and told me to get pranked. He finally cleaned it up after yelling at him, but I'm so disgusted by him. I'm planning on leaving him next year after our lease is up, which I cannot break now. I broke up with him, but he plays so many mind games with me. He makes me feel like didn't legitimately break up with him since we still live together. He makes me think I'm the crazy one. I have felt single for so long with how he treats me, but feel trapped with him even though he can go mess with other girls. BC of his actions. I have extensive therapy to help me get over the severe trauma he caused me. I unfortunately have many stories since being in this relationship. It feels good to vent to others than someone I pay to listen to me cry. Here's a update to my BF shit all over my house. Well, he's an ex I left for good. I decided to go ahead and pay for 2 rents to be free. It's gonna be hard, but after last night what he did, I'm out for good. I left for a completely different reason than this story. This story wasn't recent and the question is, why didn't I leave sooner? I don't know, but I was abused though. He's a narcissist though, and his mind games took a huge toll on me. Narcissists truly alter your brain with their love bombing and abuse, then back to love bombing. Why didn't I see the red flags first? I didn't, there were none. It was the most perfect relationship in the beginning. Narcissists trap you before they show you who they really are. I grieved the person I thought he was, loving, kind, funny, everything I ever wanted, but truth is, he's evil /. This story wasn't as bad as what else he put me through. There was worse. There was more. I finally had enough after waking up and realizing what was happening. This was with therapy. I've been so mentally checked out for so long in this relationship. I hadn't had feelings for a very long time but kept hope. I don't know why. Anyways, I'll share more stories as I heal. It feels good to vent to others than to someone I pay to listen to me. All these stories I have he would tell me were pranks. Truthfully, they were evil acts. Please go to my channel.